Navigating OCD and autism is difficult enough. But what's just as difficult for me and other neurodivergent individuals is navigating a society that was not designed by us, and thus it was not designed for us. And believe me, it's not just us who has to deal with this. If you don't find yourself conforming to society's expectations, then chances are you are going to be subject to prejudice, maltreatment, and stigmatization. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a list of 25 common societal rules and expectations that either I have stumbled upon myself or it's been one that has been commonly stumbled upon by people who don't conform. In some cases, both. And if you're neurotypical or you find yourself conforming to most of these expectations, then I encourage you to just think about these for a second. Because even if they may not hurt you, what you might not realize is that these expectations kill your nonconformist neighbors in silence. Here are some that I have commonly dealt with as someone who is neurodivergent. You have to navigate the small talk before navigating into the deeper conversations. No fidgeting, make eye contact with the person you're speaking with. Have good posture. Here are a bunch of overstimulating environments to socialize. We not only expect you to manage these, but also thrive in them. Here are some common masculinity standards that I feel have taken a toll on me as a nonconformist man. And just to be clear, this is not to say that women don't have to deal with femininity standards of their own. And this is not to say that women have it easier. That's not the message I want you to get. It's just that as someone who is male, I feel the pressure to live up to these expectations. Don't cry. Don't show emotion. Power through your struggles like a man. Be outgoing. Be muscular. Be good at sports. Make a lot of money. Be very successful with women. Have offspring. Initiate conversations with women instead of vice versa. You got to pay on the first date. You got to make money while the women care for the kids. Here are some that are expected of us in the professional world. You got to be good at job interviews. You got to meet your deadlines. You've got to be a workaholic. You have to hustle all the time. Don't take time off. You got to work from 9 to 5 for 5 days a week. And my favorite, you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Here are some milestones that society has glorified for years. Get married, have a nuclear family. And here's one that I think is applicable to pretty much everybody, except the top 1%. You have to be obedient.
Oh, but wait a minute, Dash. Could you please explain to me one by one why each and every one of these expectations that you just mentioned is wrong?
You know what? We have the goddamn internet. You have a fucking brain. Why don't you use them? Why do I detest societal expectations so much? What's a common theme with all of these societal expectations that I've mentioned and several others that I haven't? These rules create a false stigma around people who don't conform. They can create this notion that the glorified prototypical person is the so-called quote unquote right person, thus making people who don't fit that mold feel inferior. Also, those who conform to societal rules and expectations can make these arbitrary assessments of you and thus make unfair judgments against you. And this is why people who don't live up to those expectations or fit the mold, they can feel inferior. But at the end of the day, this is just some privileged fuck's idea for what is ideal. It's not a legitimate litmus test for what is good or right or normal. I hate that word, normal. Anyways, it takes no more than 2 seconds of critical thought to determine that there is no legitimate reason for why society's ideal person should be considered any better than any other prototype of a person. Societal rules and expectations also cause people who don't conform to hide their true authentic selves out of the fear of disappointing others. And when you hide your true authentic self, you risk being misunderstood. And being misunderstood is a huge reason why people are anxious, depressed, and isolated. And of course, by reinforcing conformity, these rules and expectations enable groupthink. As humans, we have a tendency to want to feel accepted by others. And when the people around us are all going like, hey, we're doing things this way, it can create this peer pressure that is very easy to succumb to. As a result, people overlook the problems with what their peers are doing, and they end up going with the flow and thus inadvertently causing damage to people's lives. And if you dare call out your peers for taking actions that could be very harmful to other people, then you're viewed as a fucking heretic. You're vilified, and you don't end up getting the acceptance that you desire. This groupthink doesn't just occur in social settings, but educational and professional ones as well. And because people desire harmony over critical thought and analysis, they end up making decisions that destroy the lives of millions of people. So, what do you think? Perhaps you're a nonconformist who really detests societal expectations, but maybe perhaps sees some merit in them? Or maybe you are a conformist, but you're starting to see the harm that these expectations have on people who are not conformists. Please let me know in the comments what you think. As a final note, I guarantee you that there are some people out there that either A, think that nothing is wrong with any of the expectations that I mentioned, or B, refuse to admit that they are. If you meet someone like this, I'm here to remind you that those are not the kinds of people you want to be friends with.